How's it going, everybody? It is the Keen's Fox here, and this is my channel where I like to talk about anime, video games, and cartoons, mostly Sonic and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Alright, as most of you kind of already guessed by now, Amy Rose is like one of my favorite characters in the Sonic series, and I usually talk about the Archie comics at times when it comes to my videos, mostly because the Archie comics just has a lot more lore compared to like anything else that's Sonic related, like even the games. I think it probably has a lot more lore. And it just features almost every extended character that you can imagine. Like it has like Freedom Fighters, has Breezy the Hedgehog, weird echidna characters created by Ken Benders, etc. It just has like all that stuff, and I like it. I mean, despite it being like kind of ground zero for like reboots, controversies, overpowered feats, and what else, and just teenage drama. I mean, I kind of like it. I mean, I like to read it. It's not bad. But it's just not how I would personally think the Sonic series should be depicted. But I do think that a lot of characters have some good like characterization here and there, and I think Amy Rose is definitely one of the best characters in the comics and whatnot, who had some pretty decent characterization that nobody really ever talks about. And that's what I'm here to talk about. So I'm going to start by addressing the elephant in the room, and that is on the subject of Amy Rose aging herself up. So what a lot of people, when they think about Archie comics, Amy, they think, oh, well, she aged herself up so that she can be with Sonic, etc., etc. Now, back in the day, there was a lot of weird explanations for like some of the classic characters going into their like transitioning to their modern counterparts. So instead of just simply just writing it off or just saying, well, or just saying like just changing up the just the art style, or it's just a design aesthetic, I guess, or it's a whatever, they had to have some weird explanations for some of these transitions. I think some of the earlier Sally stuff was that I think her fur got dyed or whatever, which I think that might have been retconned or something. I'm not sure. Because that she had like a blonde hair, kind of peach fur, and then she had like pink fur and black hair, and now she has her more iconic red hair and brown fur. And then for like Sonic, from his classic transition to his more modern transition, he was hit by some kind of time beam, which made his eyes turn green, his quills longer, and it just made him a lot more slimmer. And then for Dr. Eggman, because at the time, the original Dr. Eggman, who was known as Robotnik Prime by most, he had died. He was erased from existence after the Endgame arc. So he came back through like another version of Dr. Eggman named Robo Robotnik, who had killed his version of Sonic and stuff. He traveled to the Archie comic Sonic's Dimension and wanted to cause havoc and terror there. So basically he uploaded his mind into an android body of Dr. Eggman's. So that's the explanation of how he has the modern day Eggman look. So for Amy, it was that, oh, she had this power ring and she basically used it to age herself up. But the thing is, though, Amy didn't really like age herself up by much. Like she actually, like some people might say, well, she aged herself up from like 8 to 12, but she actually aged herself up to be like from 12, I believe, to like 17, or not 17, 16. That's the age Sonic was, but physically she should be like 17 because a year had passed afterwards. So physically, yeah, Amy's 17, but mentally she's probably like 13 or something. And that's the explanation there. So, but she only did it mainly because, yeah, she wanted to be with Sonic as well, but also because she wanted to be a freedom fighter, which is why Sally had rejected the idea of her becoming a freedom fighter, because she didn't want to put her in danger or anything. Alright, so first I'm going to talk about some of her flaws, and then I'll talk about some of her feats, like what she's able to do and how powerful is Amy, and then I'll talk about her character. So going into her flaws, I mean, the obvious two we know. She can be short-tempered and she can be a little jealous, right? When it comes to jealousy, Amy isn't like it's not as bad as it is in like some games like Sonic Rush, for example, like where a girl would just mention, like a girl she just met will simply mention Sonic's name and then she'll get all like, ah. But in the comics, though, Yeah, like Amy doesn't have any hostility towards anybody who's like dating Sonic or whatever. But she'd be pissed off if somebody would try to break Sonic's heart like Fiona did. Although I don't think Fiona broke Sonic's heart per se, but she really did disappoint him and everyone else though, so there was that. But I mean, when it comes down to her jealousy though, yeah, she can be jealous of Sally sometimes, since Sally is like Sonic's primary love interest in the Archie comics. Like they like have pretty much been together the longest, but but it's not like, oh, it's gonna affect Amy's opinion about Sally or anything. She could just be a little bitter sometimes and be like, okay, well, Sonic's gonna show more affection towards Sally. She'll just give him a little just a stare, or something, and be like, yeah, that type of thing. But regardless, I mean, she doesn't let it get in her way of like, because she still does care for Sally. She tried to rescue her as Mecha Sally, and she even tried to help Sonic and Sally out on their date, right? Showing you just how tame her jealousy can be. And then one of her other flaws, I think, she gets too distracted easily by her thoughts on Sonic and his approval. But I think it's what motivates her to become the best version of herself as well. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword, and that's what I personally think. Alright, so right now we're going to talk about some of Amy's skills and some of her abilities, because Amy is honestly like one of the most strongest female Sonic characters in the, well, series. Alright, so in the comics, Amy is an official freedom fighter, and she is a co-founder of Team Fighters. That is a three-man squad with Sonic, Tails, and Amy. But yeah, she's the co-founder of that, meaning she's no damsel or no stranger when it comes to a fight. She was trained and mentored by Knuckles' girlfriend, Julie Sue, in hand-to-hand and agility. So Amy's very acrobatic, and she's also, she can fight without her hammer, of course. Amy has squared up with the Iron King, who can actually make the Earth tremble itself. Not to mention, this is the same guy who literally took on both Sonic and Monkey Kong or King Kong at the same time. And if you know, like Sonic, he's really overpowered. Even in his base, Sonic still actually he's got feats. And Monkey Kong was like considered to be like one of the most powerful cyborgs on Earth, or Mobius. So yeah, so that Amy taking on this guy by herself, and she's actually done it twice, really does tell you that yeah, Amy's very very strong. Um, She's also stalemated Blaze the Cat, even though the fight was kind of like interrupted by Cream the Rabbit with like no clear winner. Still, Amy took on Blaze, and as we all know, Blaze is pretty much on the same level as Sonic, right? Not saying that Amy will win, but I'm not saying she didn't like lose either. Like she didn't get taken out one hit or anything. No, it was pretty much a stalemate until Cream had to weigh in. So I mean, not to say I'm disappointed. I'm just saying, oh well, that's something notable. And let's see, Amy has also held her own against Shadow the Hedgehog and whatnot in a free for all. Yeah, that's right. Amy has actually fought Shadow himself. Not saying, yeah, no, I'm not gonna cap here. Shadow would beat Amy, but to be fair, Amy, along with her like team with Blaze and Cream, Team Rose, it was a free for all with Team Dark, which consists of Shadow, Rouge, Omega, Team Hooligans, which was let's see, Knack the Weasel, Bean the Dynamite, Bark the Polar Bear, another one of the strongest characters in the series. Let's see, and then the Babylon Rogues, that would include Storm the Albatross, Jet the Hawk, and Wave the Swallow. And yeah, that would include all of them. So yeah, it was a pretty good fight. It was a really good story. Yeah, and like I said, Amy managed to hold her own against all those odds and whatnot, with her friends backing her up. So, anyways, she's fast enough to create tornadoes by spinning really fast, and she can also smash crystals created by Walter Nagus, which was actually giving Shadow and Knuckles a hard time to break apart. As a character, Amy can be a bit of a hopeless romantic and sometimes even an ugly crier, but she's respected by many characters for her enthusiasm and her kindness. Amy has gone out of her way, along with Cream, to try and help save Blaze's world, where it was in peril without the Soul Emerald. and that included after just meeting her, by the way, keep in mind, and that included going against like Team Dark, Team Hooligans, and even the Babylon Rogues from Sonic Riders. She has also helped save Angel Island in the reboot timeline by helping Knuckles collect the Master Emerald shards before the Freedom Fighters could restore the Earth to its normal status. Also very charismatic in the eyes of some of the main characters like Sonic, Shadow, Blaze, and even Knuckles. She once threw a fit at Sonic when he almost gave up being a hero when Sally was roboticized. This is the Mecha Sally art. When Sally was roboticized, Nagus had taken over the Kingdom of Acorns politically, and when Antoine was just dying. So a lot was going on, and Sonic was just about to just give up and say, you know what, Eggman wins. But pretty much Amy went on a full-on like rant and told Sonic what's up, and that ended up encouraging him to just get out of his own despair and just keep going. So I thought that was pretty cool. She's also motivated Knuckles when he was doubting his own self worth as a guardian, even saying that she admires him for his own commitment to his thankless job as a watching over the Master Emerald in his indomitable spirit. She was even lecturing Shadow on whether or not he was going to save Blaze's world after she had previously helped him. Even Blaze had validated her as a freedom fighter that Sonic had spoken highly about. So that's what I think about Amy's character, or that's Amy's character in the Archie comics. She's very selfless, compassionate, enthusiastic, and she's very kind. Like she'll go out of her way and help out people who are in need without nothing in the return. Anyways, that's the end of my video, people. I hope you guys enjoyed. You might have learned something new, hopefully, or you probably already knew this, and yeah. But maybe this might change your opinion on Amy if you think less of her, or maybe this might just even just validate what you might actually think about her character, or strengthen that opinion, I guess. But anyways, this is my video. If you want to talk about it or have a little discussion, you can just text me, or not text me, but just talk to me in the comments and I'll respond. I'll probably see it or whatever, even the ignorant comments, actually. But yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And this is the Keenest Fox, and I am out. Peace.